Welcome back, whippersnappers. This is Gramps. We are in Shapes 2 challenge mode, the dimension update, and last episode, we increased our MAM to be able to build 4-layer shapes. That said, we are still only being served 2-layer shapes, so I have not connected it up yet, as you can see here. And this is also going, we're still following the theory that once the theory that once we get to a new number of layers, that we're never going to go back to a lower number of layers. So we will see. What I wanted to do this episode is let this just chug along. You know, let it do its thing. And we will keep an ear open to, see when it updates, and we'll check in on it to see what the next shape is. I think we're probably getting close to a 3-layer shape, but I don't know, maybe not. And in the meantime, what I wanted to do is do a few tasks, and some of the trickier ones is what I wanted to do. So I'm going to scroll down here to our crystal world. And let's take a look at doing some of these guys. Yeah. You know, I think even something like this is kind of tricky. So we'd have to figure out how to do that. This one, I think, is not tricky. That obviously is easy. This is easy. Because for this one, you're basically just adding the uncolored shapes. And then each time you do that, you run it through a crystallizer. And then this one, they're just all painted white. And then this... yeah, you just have this on top. So all you do is, for this one, you then drop pins on the top, or a single pin even, and it will fill in with crystals. So that one's not super tricky to me. This one is actually kind of tricky. Yeah. Oh no, that's not tricky because I think we did that, right? Didn't we discover... I can't remember now. Anyway, let's go through... yeah, let's see if we can figure this one out. We'll start off with this. And while I get this set up, I just wanted to say thank you for watching. If you get a chance, please subscribe if you're not already. We're at 390 subscribers, so we're super close to 400. It would be awesome to hit that 400 and chug along. The goal being getting eventually to 1,000. There we go. We just had an update. Still 2-layer. Easy shape there. No worries. And like, of course, a like is very helpful. Gets this out in front of other people. So let's start over here. Now, I'm going to use this area, even though it is not going to give us maximum capacity for crystals. We will be working at slow speed for crystals. But that's just, you know, that's okay. Alrighty, so... I think that to do this... that's right. Okay, I know what we do here. So we're going to start off with this. And we're going to do a half destroy on our circle. And then we will give it a 180. So it's oriented this way. Then we are going to crystallize. And we need magenta. So we need a mixer. All right. So that is going to get us this top shape here. And then all we need to do is use a pin pusher. That should get us this final shape. Run it on in there. Let's go ahead and delete all these old ones that were in there. Okay. Zip forward, and we will see where we're at. All right, yes, you can see that this is creating a correct shape. Boom, boom, boom. That's what we want. It makes me nervous, though. Why does this one have a check mark and this one doesn't? I feel like this should. These have check marks. Why does this one not? Well, who knows? All right, so let's get that turned in. But what we're going to do now, just looking ahead to the next one, all right, so that's gone, is we will take this then and put it through a half destroy. The half destroy is going to leave the crystal side alone and just get rid of the uncolored side. Then we need a half shape yellow crystal. All right. Now yellow is going to be red plus green. So that is going to be fun. You know what we can do is we can do this. I'm going to take all this and move it over here. And move it over there. All right. Because that's going to get us what we want. And then we're going to take our half destroyer and put it there. That's coming over this way. Okay, and then this has got to be done. Yeah, that's got to be done. Yep. All right. So now I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. Uh-huh. I'm going to put our mixer right there. That's going to make yellow. So what we need now is a half crystal. And the way we do that is by taking literally any of these shapes. I'm going to do it with this one just to prove a point. And I'm going to use our half destroy. And what we're doing here is making a form to shape the crystal. Okay, so we are doing that. Actually, I'm going to cut this and flip it and put it back in there. All right, so now, again, going with our crystallizer. Oh, no. I wanted to leave that the way it was. All right. We are going to do that. All right, did we have another? Yes, we had another one. And again, 2 layer. Let's, by the way, go over here and go ahead and unlock that. Okay. So this is going to now, why this is all in the wrong layer. All right, there we go. So this is going to create a shape that is half windmill and half yellow crystal. Then to that, we need to, well, honestly, we can half destroy, but before we do that, we need to rotate 180 and then half destroy. Then that will leave us with just this yellow crystal. And it's on the wrong side, so we're going to do a 180 to get it back over here. Okay. Now we're going to go into a swapper. And I think that's going to do it. We shall see. I think so. Look at that. That looks right. Now that said, I don't know. I think it's going to come out of both, and then that will equalize. All right. So I think we are on our way to creating this shape. Now, how do we do this one? So, yeah. It's a darn good question. We can't create the red. We can't just create a red and purple crystal like this and then pin push it, because then we're going to have pins over here, and we don't want that. So I think what we need to do, yeah, I know what we need to do. We need to double this up. Yep, all right. What we're going to have to do is do this. So we do this part first, right? And then we don't have to worry about rotating it. Because next what we need to do is drop another half shape on top of this. So we would put this into the bottom row of a stacker. And then just grab a half shape. And again, shape does not matter. So that will go into that. Okay. Then we're going to run it into another crystallizer. So we're basically going to create this half shape here. And that crystallizer will have just red. All right. That was this. All right, so let's get this going. All right, stacker. Right, yep. Then into another crystallizer. do this one this way just for kicks. And again, we are going to be working slowly here. So that is going to crystallize all the empty spaces here, right? So that, again, we'll just put a crystal shape there. Then we're going to do what we did before. So we're going to spin a 180. Yeah. We will spin a 180. Right? Because, yes, that has made what we want. So we're going to spin a 180 and delete these guys. Which should get us just that yellow and red crystal. And on the right side. So we need to do another 180. Then into the swapper you go. Perfect. That should do it. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like it. All right, then this next one is going to need this shape here. So let's do that. We want our cutter. Okay. Then our painter. Do painter there. And then we'll just do one there. So this one we're going to paint magenta. So that one gets these guys painted magenta. Then these ones we want painted red. Okay. Then we need to stack them back together. And then we need to pin push them. Those are going to go on top of these. So I have another stacker. All right. Ooh, look at this. We had another almost 5 million shapes come in for that. I just love how that is just still cruising full speed along. All right, now the question is, how are we going to do this one? So obviously we have the pins under here. So do we literally just create this left half and then the right half and then swap them? I mean, the trick with crystals is not thinking in terms of layers anymore, but thinking in terms of quarters. And in this case, really halves. So we could do that, right? If I took, instead of stacking them back together here, I took those and put white crystal in. Don't know. I could do here. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I could just basically kind of recreate what we're doing here, right? With this and this. And just do this again. But then send it with just more. If that makes sense. So create a third form shape here that would come in on top of this, and then we put white in. Okay. And oh, I know. And then here, which create, instead of doing this, and we do this, but we do magenta and white, and then pin push it. Yeah, okay. All right, I think I have it. Not a ton I can do at a time. And this will stay the same, only, yeah, we're just going to get rid of the pin push. I'm just going to go ahead and drop this guy on top at the end. And empty you and you. Actually, I'm just gonna get you out of the way. All right, this is on. Let's get rid of this, and gonna get rid of that for now. All right. Yeah. So we're going to do another stack here. And let's just take this guy. And that is going to stack up on top of there. Yeah, perfect. And then we will run that through the crystallizer. Now we need to get white fluid in there. So we're going to do this. Because if we add blue to yellow, we will get that magical white fluid. So I'm diverting you. And doing this. so that should be putting white into sight. Yes, yes. Okay. Excellent. So this gets us that. Perfect. All right, that's all I'm going to do over there for the second. Now, over here... Alright, that's fine. I think... Yeah, I need to get rid of you and you. And we're going to... Nope. Not do that. We're going to do a half destroy here. Along with a 180. And then we're going to stack you, on top of this. Oops. Then into another crystallizer. Where we're going to take our... magenta that we already have. And add in blue green. So again, magenta and green will make white. Right, so then this should get us that shape that we want. Now over here, we're going to take you, do a 180, do a half destroy, and another 180. This guy, looking beautiful. We are going to do a pin push. And then a half destroy. And then we're going to do a swap with that. That should get us our bottom 3 layers done. All that is left is going to be a stack. Look at that. I love the layers. I love the layers. So this guy is just going to drop down on top of this. Look at that. That's our shape, baby. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Beautiful. And that is that task lane done. Right out over here. Okay, why do you seem to be held up? What is going on? This one seems to have not moved in a minute. Okay. Yeah, so we've got circles. So you're coming along here, getting not painted. Broken into your halves. And you are stuck, because you are stuck behind this guy, which is not moving. Why is this null? This is null. Because it is not finding... Why is it not finding that? There should be something there. This one's okay. Alright, so this is bad. And I think last time we had the debate of should this be a not or not. These are all coming into here, and then up here. Yes, we are going forward. So that is correct. And then it comes in here. But why is this not going through? Because this is comparing east and west, right? Because, yeah, this is west. And saying, hey, is there any shape in the east? Which, all right. This one, we do. We have northeast and northwest. So this should be running up top, is the thing. This should be sending circles. And they should not be painted red. Why? Okay. Make sure these are all northeast, northeast. Okay. But why is nothing running through here? Top layer, northeast. Top, top. And this is the top. Alright. Let me do some off-camera thinking. I'll be back. This is cruising along. You can see that's almost done. By the time we come back, this will be done. Okay, I figured this out. So, I was on the wrong layer here, is why this wasn't working. But what I had to do is add an equal and a null onto this one, which, if you look at, this has equal and null, equal, null, equal, null. Right? Isn't that an equal? Oh, it's an or. Oh, that's right. Okay. So that should be that. Equal, null. It's saying if this half is equal to null, then pass it along. If not, pass it in this way. Okay? So I think that is going to work. I'm just going to copy this down again to keep. If it's broken, then let's make it consistently broken. And in that time, that actually, I solved that a little bit quicker than I thought. So that one is done. Yay! All right. Let's see here. So let's look at this one. See how tricky this is. Very easy. Also very easy. Yeah, that's easy. This one is titled Crystal Breaker. So we have a crystal here. Once we drop it down, then it will shatter and give us that gap. Again, gap mania. Or not. Sorry, not draw. Okay. So what happens is this. We create this first. Then we put, on top of that, we put this white circle and an uncolored half circle. Then we run all that. Then we run this through a blue crystallizer. So now blue crystal goes in here. Then we run it through a cutter, a half destroy. So everything over here gets shattered, including this green crystal. This is left. All right, so let's go ahead and do this one. I think this is an interesting concept to talk about, and that's going to get us to over here. All right, my friends. All right. So, first, let's start with this. Let's get a let's get this. Half of a circle and half of a square. Yep. Then, oh, we got another shape. There we go. 3 layers, finally. Okay. So we'll take a break on this. So we're starting to run long. And let's do this instead. Okay. So now we can see, is this stacked correctly? That one we're good with. We want half circle on top. So I think this is wrong. All right. So hard to see. I cut this, and then I did a Shift F and placed it right back down. So that just swapped these poles. But now you can see when I mouse over, there is a put a monitor on it. You can see there's a half circle on top. All right, so that's what we want. Yep, that's perfect. So, and we'll take all this and put it in there. All right, so that should be going. I guess let's run back to this really quickly here. So we've got that there. Let's do a clockwise rotate for you, and let's do a counterclockwise rotate for you. Then we are going to stack you. serious? We've got no red. Okay, there we go. Yeesh. And then we're going to paint that whole shape yellow. As Coldplay would say, it's all yellow. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. So we will take that, put it into a painter. And paint it yellow. So that gets us our base shape, which is perfect. Then this one, we're going to want red. So we'll do half destroy. And a rotate counterclockwise and a half destroy again. That gets us our little Doodleheimer on the top bit there. We will paint that red. Then run it into a crystallizer, which will be green. Okay, that gets us our top shape. Oh, but we can't do that. Because we cannot combine those two. So, we need the stacker first. That is on the bottom, and that is on the top. Then it goes into a crystallizer. Okie doke. So that gets us our final first shape here. And let's see how we're doing over here. Hello, hello. We're getting all loaded up. Oh, yeah, it's already delivered. Some. Good. So that is working. This is working. We'll be back next episode to finish off this task. And we will also get to our... 39. This was the one. Yeah, this was the one that is the one that was requested. So good. Starring Dew of the Valley. Stardew Valley. Aww. Alright. Here's our next shape. And again, shouldn't have to touch it at all. So I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that alone. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please like and subscribe. We're so close to 400. That would make my weekend. If we could roll into the weekend with 400 subscribers, I could brag about that to everybody at work. Help an old man brag. All right, thank you so much. This is Gramps, signing off.